I start this video with a recognition that all the matters that we are addressing in these videos are matters where people hold varying views, where they have different influences and experiences and circumstances. And I recognise that these can be difficult things to talk about as well. Well, the aim of this video, whether you are part of the Connect family or whether you are inquiring, is to help you understand how we see matters from what we as the leaders of Connect Church regard as a biblical point of view, and how we might work that out pastorally in our setting. It is not a detailed exploration of the topic in question. We have sought to arrive at positions and views based on Bible study, on research, and on prayerful consideration, as opposed to going with the flow of public opinion or merely drawing upon our own or upon mainstream church traditions. And the aim is not to just give a position and leave it there, but rather to initiate prayer and consideration of these things, to have conversations. We keep these things under review, and though the positions stated in this video are firmly arrived at and held, we are always willing to engage in conversation, to listen, to learn, to be corrected if we have got something wrong. And I also want to reassure you that we deal pastorally with each person and their circumstances on an individual basis, and recognise that there may be a need to have a slightly different approach or to have a different conversation depending upon somebody's age, their spiritual maturity and understanding. The topic of this video is about the church and the state and looking at questions of politics. First and foremost, we acknowledge that as Romans 13:1-2 states, government and authority is instituted by God. However we may regard those in authority, their offices are part of God's plan and purposes on earth. We are to submit to them. We are to carry out the duties of citizens. We're to pay due taxes. Jesus taught to give to Caesar what is Caesar's. That's Matthew 22:21. However, we are to remember that before all else, we are citizens first of God's kingdom. Jesus also taught to give to God what is God's. 1 Timothy 2:1-4 encourages us to pray for all people, especially those in authority, with the goal that we all live peaceful lives and that people come to know Jesus. Throughout the Gospels, Jesus does not endorse any political ideology, any particular political ideology. He establishes rather a kingdom and calls its leaders to servanthood, to care for the poor and vulnerable, and to act with justice and equity. Connect Church does not endorse a particular political party or style of politics, nor promote a political agenda. As leaders, we do not seek to influence Connect people in voting for a particular political party. We do, however, encourage people to exercise their right and responsibility to cast their vote in elections. We thank God for Christians who hold political office, whatever their political persuasion, and we pray that as they seek to promote Christ-like values, their voice is heard wherever they serve, whether it's locally or nationally. We do not hold that the church is called to govern the nation or local councils, but rather to serve as priests to it. Both the Old and the New Testaments reveal that we are to be a kingdom of priests. That is Exodus 19:6 and 1 Peter 2:9. In that priestly function, we are to stand in the gap in prayer. There may be instances where it is right to speak out against injustice in an appropriate way, or to offer godly counsel. Also, priests are tasked with the care of the poor and needy. As Christians engaging in any sphere of life, we ought to do so respectfully and remember always that we are called to be ambassadors for Jesus Christ.